Welcome back to the Gridiron Report with David Wright. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about our running back room and what... Hold on, please. Y'all come on through. Well, here, let me introduce you. This is my Dominic, my 9-year-old. This is Zachary, my 8-year-old. Now y'all get out of my room and be quiet. Sorry about the interruption. So with the running back room, there are a lot of people that are divided on these running backs. So I wanted to start by going over, let's start with Rashard Wright. He's the only one that we have in that has not been drafted by us. We're going to cover Bill, Fat Man, and Rashard Wright. So let's start with Rashard Wright. So his best year thus far in his career is 990 yards. But the alarming part of that is his percentage, which is a 3.6. Not good, guys. That's not a good percentage to have as a running back. You want more 4.3, 4.6, 4.7, 5.2. You want in that area. That's a legitimate number. So, but we're not going to dog on Rashard because I'm extremely happy that we have him. But let's figure out the best way to use him. He's 6 foot tall, 214 pounds. He runs a 4.48. So he's not that fast, but he's not extremely slow. He's not going to break anything to the house. So what happened here is he had major fumbling problems. When I say major, I mean major. So for his first 3 years, I believe he had 2 fumbles running each of them years and 1 fumbling in his passing game. Shout out to Louis T. He's the one that reminded me of the fumbling problems that Rashard White had and why they brought in Bucky Irving. And then what happened was his numbers started going down. Well, his best year, in my opinion, is last year. The reason being is they dropped his use way down. He only had 572 yards. But with that, his percentage went up to a 4.3, much more like what you want to see. He also had a 59-yard break, which is about the best you're ever going to see from him. He, probably gets a good 20 or 30 yards per year, but he's not going to break 50s and 70s and 90s. He doesn't have the speed to do that. So when you're looking at him in his passing game in last year, his fumbles went away in his running game too. So as his usage went down, his production went up, not only to the 4.3 average after the handoff, but also in his passing game. He went up to a 9.6, I think it was, in the passing game after the catch, which is not good if you're going to a wide receiver, but it's really good for a running back because these are going to be short little drops right off the line, and he's turning them into positive yardage. Really what you want to see, much more from him. So like last year's was 132 carries, 572 yards, 4 touchdowns, a 4.3 average, and the fumbles finally stopped. But don't forget, hold on to the fumbles, because the first 3 years of his career, 3 fumbles per year. So let's go up to Bill, because this is the problem that people have been having with Bill, and they've been talking about, oh, fumble this or fumble that. But let's come down to reality a little bit on Bill. It was his rookie year. He was in an unfriendly system, a system that does not like running backs. It's an air raid system. It's mainly throwing the ball. And on top of that, we had nobody to throw the ball to. So, in his rookie campaign, he put up 805 yards, 8 touchdowns. Now, that's real yardage when you consider how many games he was used legitimately. Where, how many games do we know of that other running backs started? They didn't get close to these numbers, but they were being chose to start, and they were not being taken out of the game while Bill was. Even in a horrible year where we weren't going anywheres, injuries, so forth, so on. Don't need to go through the excuses, but he still was able to put up 805 yards and 8 touchdowns. He did have 3 fumbles. Once again, back to Rachaad White. His first 3 years in the league, he had 3 fumbles per year. Now, Bill had 3 at the beginning of his rookie year, but cleaned it up by the end of the year. With these numbers that are close to the best numbers that Rachaad White ever put up. More importantly, Bill is the only true threat in our running back room. So Bill has a 4.43 40. In other words, at any given moment, he can break it to the house. We also know he was one of the best in the league. It might have been the best in the league at yardage after first contact behind the line. So 99% of the time he gets hit behind the line, he's still going to get positive yardage. That is a rare trait. So when you have these kind of yards, so in his rookie class, with all the names that everyone knows, he was 4th. And the guys that beat him, the 3 running backs out of the rookie class that he came out of, they were barely in front of him. 2 of them didn't even have as many touchdowns, just had a few more yardage. That's it. So let's put Bill where he belongs. Out of his rookie season, he was the 4th best out of all rookies. I don't care where they were drafted. He was drafted in the 7th round. He put up them numbers and was at the top of the pack. On top of that, he was playing in a system that the line was built for pass protection, not run game. That's why I also think we'll see Brandon Coleman at left guard this year, because he has the athletic ability to push up to the 2nd and 3rd levels and get them blocks. But that's for another video. So, no disrespect to Rachaad White, because this is one of our quarterback's best friends. And when you're using this man in the right spots, in that third down back, where he's not anywhere near a bell cow or a starter, let's not say bell cow, but starter, to where he can maximize his targets, he does much better with his 9.6 in the pass game and the 4.3 in the run game. So when I'm looking at Rachaad White and I'm looking at Bill, there's really no comparison for skill base. And there's a real slander on Bill on passing. Go and look at his numbers. In Cliff's system, of course, he wasn't targeted that much. A running back wouldn't be in that system. But when he was called on, he caught the ball, he didn't drop the ball, and he produced. Almost every time, I think he was targeted like 13 or 18 times, and he got all but like 5 or whatever. No drop balls. They were incompletes. He does not drop it when he's passed to it. He catches the ball and he produces. So, all the slander about him not being able to catch the ball and not being able to block. Let's bring it down to reality, people. Like, he put on a lot of muscle, a lot of size. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, the blocking game. And you don't have to have him as a top running back that blocks. He just got to be good, serviceable, to keep the defenses honest. We're going to be playing a lot more in a 12 and 13 man set, which is going to allow you to put more tight ends with Bill for your blocking, or maybe put Rashard White out there with Bill and give him a different kind of look. So you don't know what you're actually going to see with the sets. Because we've heard from David Blau, there will be a lot more 13-man sets. That allows you to shuffle. So I am very, very high on Bill. I have been. I told my friend Bill would take B Rob's spot and would have him traded away before. And it wasn't no disrespect to B Rob. B Rob don't have the skill set that Bill does. That one cut and gone, the explosive out of the backfield, and just never being stopped in the backfield is huge. But I believe he had a 70-yarder last year. You're not going to see that from any of these other running backs, period. I don't care how many times you hand it to them. So, Bill, I believe, as much as this will be a committee, and it will be very shared, I believe Bill will have the bigger amount of carries. And I believe Rashard's numbers will be, if you add his carries and his catches together, it will be more like Bill's carries. So it's a real partnership in that running room. And then we have one more guy in our running room that I'd like to talk about, that we drafted this year, and he's known as Fat Man. Now he's 5'11, 216 pounds. Now he only runs a 4.56, but this guy is a little different. He's a lot like Bill without the speed. His first cut and his ability to find the hole is unique. So that needs a tank. Running in a shared running back room in college, he put up 1,303 yards, a 6.2 average, guys. That's nuts. And these two last numbers, 6.2 average and 15 touchdowns, that's what you want to pay attention to, because I believe his role is the thumper. And when I say thumper, 6.2 average, that's really crazy. If you bring that down coming into the NFL and even say that he's a 4.6 or 4.7 runner and a bruiser, and you cut them touchdowns in half and he could still put up 7 touchdowns, now we're talking about a weapon in the red zone. And in the last of the games, when you defenses are starting to get tired and you want to just put your foot on their throats, this is the kind of running back that come out there and just thump them over and over again. So an awesome addition, just like Rashard White was. But I believe the whole room has to run through Bill. He's the only one that is a massive threat to the defense. He can break it 90, he can break it 70, or he may get you 12. You don't know, and you have to prepare for it. Not so much with these other two. They're a little slower. You can play looser on them. You have to tighten up with Bill a lot. That also opens up some of your tight end and your receiver, because we were playing with a lot more twitchy and fast receivers. When you're having to bring a man over to help with Bill, then you're also dealing with a little bit more open room for the passes. So all this works really well together. I want to go over one more thing before we get off of here, and that is 5 more days till the guys report to training camp and we start to get into real football. And only 52 more days until the start of the year. How excited are y'all about that? Who is your favorite in this room? Is it Bill? Is it Fat Man? Or is it Rashard White? I don't think you can answer wrong because I think these are a marriage of running backs that we're going to love on all year long. So, what's your opinion? Please comment, like, share, subscribe down below. Follow us on all the social media sites, and we will see you next time. I hope y'all have enjoyed your weekend. It's been gorgeous.